So, good evening to all the students of B 4th semester Civil Engineering Department, LDC Ahmedabad. I am Professor Utkarsh Nigam, and today we shall discuss about the module number 3. I have already uploaded one video of the module number 2. I think you have gone through that video, and in this present video, most of the sessions have been already conducted in the classroom as well, and we shall try to cover this in this lecture video. I have already plotted the lecture sheets, lecture notes, and the presentation of these topics in the Google Classroom. So it is a request to all of you to go through it. And also the disclaimer regarding the Corona COVID-19 is also there. Please stay safe and please stay at your home, and please follow the practice of self-quarantine. So today we shall go through this module number 3, and I have already told, and teaching scheme and the syllabus has been discussed, so I will not go in that much depth. Out of the 6 modules, I will deal with the 3 modules, and this is actually the second module which I will deal, that is the module number 3. So in this module we shall discuss about the infrastructure, the mega cities, smart cities, sustainability, the transportation services, the futuristic development, how the hyperloops can be used in the future, what are the modes of the energy generations, which are the methods and technologies being used in the development of the nation through power generation, the water provisioning and the telecommunication needs, and the awareness about the various codes, standards of practices regarding the sustainability, and the innovations for ensuring the sustainability. We shall go through it. And infrastructure. So we shall proceed ahead with this lecture sheet, and as we have already discussed about the syllabus, and we shall directly proceed towards the module number 3, that is the infrastructure, power generation and sustainability aspects. So these are the subtopic details that we shall discuss in detail about the infrastructure, what it means, what are the habitats, mega cities, smart cities, futuristic visions, transportation, networkings, then futuristic systems, hyperloops are being used, being in a planning to use. Then energy generation, what are the different methods, technologies are available. Then water provisioning, what are the methods of augmentation or water conservation by which water can be provisioned. Then telecommunication needs, how civil engineering is helpful in establishing these telecommunication towers, etc., and cabling. Awareness of the various codes, standards of the infrastructural development, innovations and methodologies for ensuring the sustainability as well. So infrastructure habitats. So the components of infrastructures are various. As far as infrastructure is considered, it includes all the entities, all the facilities which are associated directly by the public. Infrastructure is not actually associated with a particular building or a particular domain of any structure. It is actually exploring term in which various components are being considered, such as mass transits, road network, water supply, sewage, tunnels, communication, bridges, electricities. These all are considered. In this infrastructure, it is the fundamental facilities and systems serving a country, city or other area, including the services and facilities necessary for its economy to function. It is composed of public and private physical improvements such as road networks, railways, bridges, tunnels, water supplies, sewers, electrical grids and telecommunications as well. So these are associated with the physical components in the integrated system. Then comes the smart cities and the mega cities. So smart city and the futuristic visions about the smart cities, why a city is being used, and why any of the city can be converted into a smart city if the telecommunication needs, communication and internet technology at a particular area can be increased or it can be developed, then any of the city can be converted into a smart city, and how it can be used. So first of all, let's have a basic look on the smart city. It is an urban area that uses different types of electronic Internet of Things sensors to collect data and then use insights gained from that data to manage assets, resources, and services efficiently. As given in the picture, you can see the various components of the internet. The one thing is very common, that you will have some data by the means of information technology or communication means, and that data is being stored in the either by using the cloud computing or database management can also be used. So at one place you will store all the data, and then you will proceed towards the usefulness of that particular data. So the smart city concept is, and the mega city concept, that is actually the futuristic vision in the development of any city or in the planning of a particular town as well. The smart city concept integrates information and communication technology and various physical devices connected to the IoT network. A smart city technology allows city officials to interact directly with the both community and city infrastructure to monitor what is happening in a city and how the city is evolving as well. ICT is used to enhance the quality, performance, and interactivity of urban services to reduce costs and resource consumptions and to increase contact between citizens and government. Smart city technologies may include the mentioned items in the slides. Those are the application programming interfaces, artificial intelligence, cloud computings, dashboards, machine learnings, machine to machine, mesh network, IoT based module, that is Internet of Things based modules, and automation based work or programming. Any smart city may have essentially these components of the telecommunication sector or communication sector or information and technology based sector. So these are the things which are essential and key component of a smart city, by which any of the information or any of the data can be collected and that can be proceeded as well. Smart cities utilizes the web connections through the IoT devices as well. The basic 4 steps are being followed: collection, analysis, communication, and action. These are the basic 4 processes, and in any city, if anybody has to manage a city, then these are the 4 steps he used to follow. First of all, there may be collection of the accurate or precise data that needs to be analyzed. Then through proper communication between these data and analysis, the proper action can be taken. But if the data are not available, then just to avail the data, just to get the data, just to arrange the data, the time lapse will happen. But in a smart city, just because of the development in the communications or IoT based frameworks, these type of actions can be taken immediately. The transportation part, if we will look into, there are various modes of transportation: the roads, railways and metros, airports, seaport, riverways, sea canals, tunnels, maybe below the ground or underwater as well. So these are the different modes of the transportation by which the public or goods, materials are transferred from one place to another place, and that is the very basic means of the transportation. There are different modes of transportation by using the airway, waterway, land transportation, which may include railways, roadways, and other means may also be used for the fluids or for the material as well, such as pipelines, cable transport, space transport, etc. Human power transport and animal power transports are regarded as their own mode but never fall into any other category. The transportation is used for moving people, goods, animals from one place to the another place. So nowadays a vast improvement has been seen in the transportation side as well, and particularly in the metro cities or mega cities, the mass transit system is being used, in which lots of people or lots of goods or materials has been transferred from one place to another place in a short interval of time. The futuristic systems are being evolved in the sector of transportation as well. The Hyperloop is actually a proposed system of transport that would see ports or containers travel at high speed through a tube that has been pumped into a near vacuum. The Hyperloop is a proposed mode of passenger and freight transportation, first used to describe an open source train designed released by a joint team from Tesla and SpaceX. So this Hyperloop is actually the futuristic system, or future Hyperloops may be used after being installation and implementation. The Hyperloops may be used in the development of the transportation sector as well. So these are the designs of Hyperloop, in which vacuum will be created and mass transit can be done. Exactly, it cannot be called as a mass transit, but yes, transportation is possible from one place to another place. Now we shall move towards the most important segment of this particular module. Actually, this module will take 8 hours in completion in the detail, but as an overview and precise study, the lecture sheets through the Google Classroom has been shared with you, and some modules have been some sessions of this module have been covered in the classes as well, and we shall also try to cover it through the online classroom as well. And in this video there is a general overview about this particular module. This energy generation, although it is a very vast subset or subtopic itself from this module, but it is very important to understand as well. The concept of power generation and how it is the power is generated through different means, whether conventional or unconventional methods are being used, whether the used material or used fuel for the power generation will be consumed or will not be consumed. So based on there are several questions of the power generation mode. It also depends upon the availability of the materials and the availability of the physical characteristics or geological features, whether any kind of power generation method can be established or not. So depending on that, a particular energy generation method can be achieved or used. So first one is the actually hydropower. As you all know, the hydropower is hydroelectric power, which is electricity produced by water actually. An example of hydropower is the electricity produced by a water channel turbine. There are various components, those are being segregated. Also sometimes dams are being constructed to maintain a particular storage, and then the power is generated through that particular module. So this is actually a typical layout of a hydropower plant, in which you can see water is stored, and through penstoke it is the water is flowing till turbine, and then the water is going in the outlet through the tail race tunnel, and the generator is coupled with the turbine and electricity is produced. So this is one type of the way of the hydropower generation. The second is the solar power. The solar power is the conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity, either directly using photovoltaics, indirectly using concentrated solar power, or a combination as well. The particular photovoltaic power potential across the world is being given here, in which the power generation potential is shown. India is also having a good power generation potential, but in India the efficiency of power generation is being referred to as 30% to 38% only, and somewhere it is being used as a practice as well. And the photovoltaic cells, these actually directly converts the light into electric current using the photovoltaic effect as well. So this is the mode of solar power generation. Then thermal power generation, thermal power plants are being there import. So these thermal power stations are those in which heat energy is converted to the electric power. In most process, the turbine is steam driven as well. So water is heated, turned into steam and spins a steam turbine which drives an electrical generator. Then wind wave and tidal power, these are the in which wind is being used or tidal effect is being used for the power generation mediums. The geothermal power is power generation by geothermal energy. In this the technologies in use include dry steam power stations, flash steam power stations, and binary cycle power stations. Geothermal electricity generation is currently used in 26 countries, while geothermal heating is in use in 70 countries. So it is also one of the emerging sectors, and at a temperature of 26 degrees centigrade, the geothermal ACs are also being used. This particular portion of this module, water provisioning is being provided. The water provisioning is actually associated with the provision of the water in a particular area or in a particular locality. Whether water is being accumulated or gathered or collected using many of the means, but how it will be provisioned in a particular area. So whether it will be transported, stored and then transported, or whether it will be availed from somewhere else. So that actually includes the portion of water provisioning. So these water conservation efforts have to be look into the water provisioning as well. There are various ways of water augmentation, water conservation as well. Then telecommunication needs is there. Actually, in the telecommunication, civil engineering part is just only establishing the towers or establishing the cables, whether on the surface or below the surface sometimes. So the foundation of those towers, the erection of the towers, the truss-based structure in the electrical towers are there. So foundation and implementation of the towers. Then above ground tower requirements are there, that there are certain levels that has to be maintained above which the cables will be spread or that will hang above the ground. Then underground cabling is also in the sometimes used, and in the mega cities, in the smart cities as well, the underground cabling is used. The stability of the tower and the truss structure of the tower is the most important part. Even in the worst climatic conditions and even in the pathetic weather condition as well, the tower must stand there. Just so its structural stability is also very much important. And the safety and serviceability concerns are there, that the locality must not, the tower must not be exposed in such a way that it will affect the locality. The awareness of the various codes and standards governing the infrastructure development is there. In the lecture sheets also, I'm planning to include this part, and the building codes are there, and particular in this session, actually it has been given as a student's exercise itself, although I shall also upload one of the PDF in which the codes and standards are being given, but it is has been referred to as a student's exercise from this module, that the students have to prepare a list of the codes or standards being given on the websites of the BIS or on the Indian Standards portal related to the sustainability aspects. Innovations and methodologies for ensuring sustainability. These are actually the 17 goals, the global goals for the sustainable development. Actually, what sustainability means? Sustainability means that the resources which we will, or the development that we will do, that is going to benefitize us after years as well. And these resources will be fully used or utilized, or the application of these resources can be benefitized by the generations yet to come. So these are the sustainable goals which are being given. These are the 17 goals. You can refer to these goals For example, the first goal is no poverty, then zero hunger, then good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. This is of one of the concern. Seventh is affordable and clean energy. That is also decent work and economic growth. Then industry innovation and infrastructure, required inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, place and justice, peace and justice, and partnerships for the goals. So these are the 17 goals, the 17 global goals regarding the sustainability. So any futuristic development if going on and which will have the concern towards the environment, towards the ecology, towards the sustainability, then it has to be mandatory go through this screening of these goals as well. These are the methods of sustainability. A few I have been listed in the lecture sheets also it has been given. The green building approach, smart city and innovation, infrastructural development with sustainability, prefabrication materials in controlled environments, construction waste management, managing the site for improved environment, lean manufacturing to reduce energy, material selection is there. These are a few references which I have been given. So this is an overview, a detailed overview about this module, and many sessions have been conducted in the Google Classroom as well as in the class. The assignments and lecture sheets, PPTs have been floated, and it is a request to all of you to go through all the 3 videos which will be uploaded. This is the second video, and thank you for watching this, and keep yourself at home, stay at home and stay safe. Thank you very much.